Section 3.6, more chain rule, page 5. Page 5. All right, we start with this table, and we are asked to evaluate the derivatives with respect to x of the following combinations for the given value of x. So for this first one, gave us this function, we need to find the derivative and evaluate it at 1. I'm just going to draw a horizontal line here, or segment actually, to separate the function from its derivative. When we do this derivative, we'll have 5f prime of x minus g prime of x. And we're going to evaluate that when x is 1. So 5 times f prime of 1 minus g prime of 1. Now go read the table. F prime at 1 is negative 1/3. Minus g prime at 1 is negative 8/3. This will give us a negative 5/3 plus 8/3, which is 1. Looking at this next one, g cubed of x, that's g of x quantity cubed. It's kind of like sine squared from pre-calc. When we do this derivative now, and again I'm kind of separating function from its derivative, outside most is this cubic, so we'll do that derivative first. That's 3 g of x squared times the derivative of the inside, g prime x, and we are going to evaluate this at x equals 0. 3 g of 0 squared times g prime of 0. Now read the table. G of 0 is 1 times g prime of 0, 1/3. And again, purely by coincidence, we end up with an answer of 1. If we look at this next one, g of f, again, those nested functions, a composition of functions, we'll start on the outside to find that derivative. G prime, leave its inside alone, so g prime of f of x times the derivative of the inside, f prime. Now we evaluate at 0, g prime of f of 0 times f prime of 0. Read the table. F of 0 is 1. So we have g prime of 1 times f prime of 0. F prime of 0 is 5. G prime of 1 is negative 8/3 times 5, and we end up with negative 40/3. Looking at this next one, again, a chain rule going on, but this one's a tad bit more complicated because we've added this extra x plus in here. So we'll start on the outside. F prime, leave the inside alone, times. Now we need the derivative of the inside. Here's the inside. The derivative of that x is 1. Plus, now the derivative of the g of x, g prime. And we evaluate that at x equals 0. F prime of 0 plus g of 0 times 1 plus g prime at 0. 0 is 0. G of 0 is 1. So this is f prime of 1. Times over here 1 plus g prime of 0, 1/3, And f prime at 1, negative 1/3 times, nothing to read on the table here, we just need to figure out what 1 plus 1/3 is. 4/3 and multiply to get negative 4/9. All right. How about this one down here? Oh, we've got that radical in here. Again, rewrite this. F of x to the half. Now do a derivative. Start on the outside. Pull the half down. F of x to the negative half times the derivative of the inside, f prime of x. And we're going to evaluate this at 1. Reading the table here, f of 1 is 3, so we have 1/2 times 3 to the negative half times f prime at 1, negative 1/3, and we will have 1/2 times, oh, this is 1 over square root 3 times a negative 1/3, which is negative 1 over 6 square root 3. Rationalize, and we'll have negative square root 3 over 18. There's that one. One left for today, or one left for this page, rather, I should say. Oh, let's rewrite this and get rid of the quotient rule here. Can we think of this as g of x to the negative 1? Now we purely have a chain rule here. Start on the outside, pull that negative 1 down, subtract 1 from the exponent, gives us a negative 2 here, times the derivative of the inside is g prime of x. Let's evaluate it at 1. G of 1 is negative 4. G prime of 1 is negative 8/3. Oops, lost my negative 2 exponent here. All right, let's think about what this means. Let me come up here. There's the negative 1. Negative 4 to the negative 2. That's 1 over a negative 4 squared times the negative 8/3. Well, the negative 1 and the negative 8/3, that's just going to make positive 8/3. This piece, that's 1/16, then times 8/3. Cross cancel out the 8 and the 16, and we will end up with 1/6.